It's 1801. President John Adams is about to leave office after losing the election to Thomas Jefferson. Before leaving, Adams rushes to fill a bunch of government jobs with his supporters. These becomes known as the Midnight Appointments. One of the men chosen is William Marbury. Adams signs Marbury's commission. The seal is placed on it. Everything is official, but the paper still has to be delivered. Jefferson becomes president the next day. He doesn't like these last-minute appointments, so he tells his Secretary of State, James Madison,
"Don't deliver some of those commissions."
"Welcome to Once Upon a Case, because the law isn't just for lawyers, it's for everyone. Marbury is one of them. No delivery equals no jobs. Marbury goes to court. He argues,
The president already signed my appointment. This job legally belongs to me.
So he goes straight to the Supreme Court and asks the court to order Madison to hand over the commission. But when the case reached the Supreme Court, Chief Justice John Marshall faced a difficult problem. Marshall agreed that Marbury had been legally appointed. The paperwork had been signed and sealed, and the new administration had no right to withhold it. That meant Marbury was entitled to his job. But there was another question. Did the Supreme Court actually have the power to help him? Normally, cases do not begin in the Supreme Court. Most cases start in lower courts and only reach the Supreme Court later on appeal. The Constitution allows only a few special types of cases to start directly in the Supreme Court, and Marbury's case was not one of them. However, Marbury relied on a federal law that seemed to give the Supreme Court authority to issue the order he wanted. That created a conflict. A law passed by Congress appeared to give the Supreme Court power to help Marbury, but the Constitution suggested the Supreme Court does not have that power. Marshall explained that the Constitution is the highest law of the land. If an ordinary law conflicts with it, the Constitution must prevail. So the Supreme Court declared that part of the law unconstitutional. Without that law, the Supreme Court no longer had the authority to order Madison to act. As a result, Marbury lost his case and never received his commission. But the decision had a lasting impact. By refusing to follow a law that violated the Constitution, the Supreme Court established that it has the power to declare laws unconstitutional. That principle became known as judicial review, and it has shaped American government ever since. Thank you for watching. If you learned something new from this story, please follow along for more. See you on the next one.